In other words, you see, it's regrettable, but when you actually look at all the major initiatives of international cooperation which have taken place during the past century, whether we talk about the League of Nations, the creation of the UN, the creation of the European Union, they all were in response, to some kind of cataclysm, to some kind of economic collapse or destruction or suffering. And my own view, at the height of the crisis in 2008, was that, well, here we have an opportunity for our leaders, to basically seize the crisis, and move the world into the direction of better mechanisms of governance. But as I said before, at the moment, that's not where we're headed. At the moment, what we're trying to do is basically try to recreate the rosy economic scenarios of the early part of the decade. Now, my own view, and this view is of course illumined by my convictions as a member of the Baha'i community, is that in time there will be a new world order. There's no question about it. And there might even be such a new order in the 21st century. But I frankly, for me, it's difficult to see this happening on present trends. However, and this is where I introduce a note of hope to conclude, the future may have several surprises for us in store. For instance, associated with the as yet unknowable consequences of climate change, or unpredictable consequences of climate change. And it is therefore conceivable that under such circumstances, we may be able to precipitate major changes in human priorities, in values, and in consciousness. So it could happen. It's not likely to happen on present trends, but it could happen. And it could happen essentially because we can't foretell the future, and the future may have interesting surprises in terms of new opportunities. And that is where I wanted to conclude my remarks, and I very much hope that we can have a discussion, comments, questions and answers. I will pass it on to Vladimir.
Thank you very much, Augusto.